Hello everyone, Lexi here with her 16th transsexual vlog. I recorded one last night and it's been processing on YouTube for the past 24 hours. So, giving it a second shot. It's going to be a little more focused than yesterday's anyway. I was really tired. Sorry that it's coming so late. I just got over a nasty cold. I've been having lots of car troubles, work troubles. Um, so I just haven't really had the time to make one. But here I am. So let's get started. Today's episode is going to be about understanding privilege. A lot of the people that I talk to um, claim that they don't have privilege, claim that everybody is on equal footing in society and in terms of the chances they have to succeed and just simple day-to-day tasks. This is not true. One of the toughest parts about understanding privilege is understanding why a person has privilege. Most of the time it comes down to just the culture of the society that you live in. But there are other factors. So what is privilege? Privilege is basically just the ability, having the ability to, you have an edge over people, however slight. It's a small edge. It's people accepting you, or being able to do things that other groups cannot do, or it's frowned upon for other groups to do. That's privilege. Sorry, I still have the sniffles. um, Typically speaking, uh, the most privileged group of people in our culture is the straight white male demographic. Straight white men have no problems in regards to who they are. Nobody discriminates against them, or at least not really. Um, it's sad when when anybody gets discriminated against, but it does happen. But typically speaking, as a rule of thumb, nobody discriminates against straight white men. They can go where they want, do what they want. They get paid more than their peers, their feminine peers, or even oftentimes peers of differing colors, sadly. That's privilege. Excuse me. Another example of privilege is, now I'm going to get into the territory of transgendered, uh, what happens to a trans person. I gave up all that privilege of being a white male, having that edge. I gave it up to become a girl, and not just a girl, but transsexual girl, which can be really, really, really difficult. Things as simple as checking off a gender box on a form, or filling in your name on the same form, being afraid to use public restrooms or to go to places if you don't know how their public restrooms and the various accommodations are with trans people. Like, there are multiple things that factors that come into play with privilege. And giving up that privilege as a trans person when you start to transition can be a shock. Like, the amount of things that become difficult for you that used to be so easy is like staggering. This is the same reason that we have to be very critical of the people that we date. I had a gentleman comment on my last video, number 15, who wanted to make sure there was a distinction between attraction and fetishizing of trans women. And he said that, pardon me, he said that he thinks that sometimes we overanalyze these things. We have to be this way. We have to overanalyze people. We have to be very critical, because some of us die with dating people. Like, it's scary stuff. Like, we have to be as critical, and we have to pay as much attention as possible as we can to these people, because Lord knows nobody else is looking out for us, and there are some crazy people out there. And sometimes, like, if you pass well, like, having to tell somebody that you're transsexual is so frightening, because you don't know how they're going to react. What if they haul off and punch you? A lot of men won't see you as female after you tell them that you're transsexual, and they'll just say, oh, you're a guy, and they'll hit you for tricking them. So that's another case of privilege that he may not have understood. He may have just thought, oh, trans women date like anybody else does. And I wish it was that way, but it's really not. Once you find a person who's good for you as a trans person, then it's awesome. Like you can have a relationship just like anybody else. But finding the process of finding that person, we have to be a lot more careful because there's always that risk that they're just going to be interested in dating us as a novelty, to satisfy a curiosity of being with a trans person, and that's not fun. It doesn't feel good to be on the receiving end of that. So while I do agree that there is a distinction between just attraction, being attracted to trans people, and being a chaser, you definitely just want to make sure that you're treating any trans girl or trans man like a girl or like a boy. Like, there's nothing we want more. Um, I obviously can't speak for trans men, but I imagine it's the same for them. Like, we just want to have our gender validated, not openly acknowledged. I think that's a good distinction to make. Don't openly acknowledge it. Don't be like, oh yes, you are female, roar. But just treat us nice. So that's what I said in the last video. This was sort of a follow-up to that comment on the last video. So yeah, getting used to not having that privilege anymore can be very difficult. But it is also an experience that makes you grow. I feel like I'm a much better person now because of all of this stuff that I've had to get used to. So yeah. Short video this week, I guess. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe in the sun. And I love this weather. My window's open. It's beautiful out. And I guess I'll see you next week or something. I'm not sure. I'll make these when I can. But thank you for watching, and have a good one.